Here is something that science, philosophy, and your grandma's church group have all tried to explain, and none of them have fully cracked. Why do terrible people keep winning? Not sometimes, consistently, reliably. Like the universe has them on some kind of premium subscription plan. Your coworker lies his face off in every single meeting and gets promoted. The guy who scammed his business partner is now on a yacht. The CEO, who ran his company directly into the ground, walked away with a $30 million exit package. And you, who actually tried, who actually showed up, are eating sad desk lunch wondering what you are doing wrong. But here's the thing. The answer to this question is going to make you feel a lot of things. And I promise, by the time we are done, you will never look at Fitzgerald the same way again. I'll explain who Fitzgerald is and why you cannot stop thinking about him in exactly 1 second. Let me get something straight first. The universe is not a vending machine. You do not put good behavior in and get good outcomes out on the other side. That would be an adorable system, and the universe has shown absolutely no interest in making that happen. Like, at all. The Bible tried to sort this out. Ancient philosophers chewed on it for centuries. Plato had opinions. Nietzsche had opinions. Nietzsche's opinions got a little concerning toward the end, but still, the point is, this is not a new question. And the fact that nobody has landed a clean answer should tell you something genuinely important about the question itself. Because here's what nobody actually wants to admit out loud. In a lot of measurable, documentable, uncomfortable ways, being kind of a bad person is actually a structural advantage. That is not cynicism, that is data. And the data gets considerably weirder the deeper you go. Okay, meet Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is the guy at every single company who somehow keeps making it rain. He takes credit for other people's work without flinching. He is never anywhere to be found when things go sideways, but materializes out of thin air for the celebration photo. He interrupts meetings with bad ideas stated confidently enough to pass as good ideas, and for reasons that defy logic, leadership genuinely loves him. Meanwhile, his coworker Claudette, actually talented, actually puts in the hours, does not throw anyone under a bus for sport. Claudette is still waiting on a promotion she should have gotten 2 years ago. You have seen Fitzgerald. You have been Claudette. Keep both of them in mind because they are going to tell us something important. This is not fiction. You either know a Fitzgerald personally or you are a Claudette. And the fact that this scenario is so universally recognizable should be your first clue that something structural is happening here, not a moral failure of the universe. A system, and once you see how the system works, you cannot unsee it. Here is the first reason Fitzgerald keeps winning, and I need you to remember this because it is going to completely flip the picture later. It is called survivorship bias. We'll call it the highlight reel. And it goes like this. When a bad person succeeds, you see it. It is visible. It is loud. Fitzgerald's promotion gets announced in a company-wide email with his name in the subject line. What you do not see, every other Fitzgerald who crashed and burned. The lying coworker who got fired after 6 months. The shady entrepreneur who lost everything and moved back home. The manipulative executive who got exposed and quietly disappeared from LinkedIn. They do not get the company-wide email. They just vanish. And your brain, which is very bad at tracking things that are not actively happening in front of it, files them under didn't exist. So you end up with this wildly skewed sample. You see every bad person who made it and exactly 0 of the bad people who didn't. Your brain draws a line between bad behavior and success. But that is like watching casino commercials and concluding that gambling is easy money. But hold on, because the highlight reel is only half of it. Your brain is also doing something sneaky on the input side, and this is where it gets kind of funny in an uncomfortable way. You have a gossip brain. Not a clinical name, but stay with me. The gossip brain is the part of you that clocks injustice with insane precision. When a good thing happens to a bad person, your brain fires on full alert. It logs it, it replays it, it brings it up at dinner 3 weeks later to people who weren't even there. When a bad thing happens to a bad person, which statistically happens just as often, your brain barely catches it. It doesn't fit the story, so it slides right off. It is not that bad people escape consequences more frequently. It is that you only capture half the scoreboard and then try to build a universal rule from that. Psychologists call it moral contagion. Stories about injustice where the wrong person wins capture our attention, stick in memory, and spread faster than stories where justice is served, because unfairness fires the brain's threat detection system. It is memorable because it is alarming. Your gossip brain is basically a news channel that only broadcasts disasters. So, highlight reel plus gossip brain. Fitzgerald looks like he's winning considerably more than he actually is. But wait, because even after you account for all of that, something real is still going on. And this is where things get genuinely uncomfortable. Here's the part I told you would be weird. Researchers studying what they call the dark triad, narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, we'll call it the Monster Toolkit, found something that makes total sense once you hear it, and is somehow still upsetting. Monster Toolkit traits correlate with short-term social and professional advancement. And before you panic that this is somehow an argument for becoming Fitzgerald, it is not. It is an argument for understanding the system you are operating in. Big difference. Psychopaths project confidence more convincingly under pressure. Narcissists self-promote more aggressively and more effectively. Machiavellian people run circles around everyone else when it comes to strategic positioning. None of these are qualities you want in a person you actually have to live near. All of them are genuinely useful in systems that reward self-presentation over substance. Corporate hierarchies.
Approved!
Political systems.
Approved!
Certain corners of social media.
Approved!
Fitzgerald's natural habitat.
Approved!
And here's the kicker, because there is always a kicker. The environments that reward Monster Toolkit traits also produce the most publicly visible success, so you are not imagining that Fitzgerald is getting ahead. In certain lanes, on certain timelines, he actually is. The question is what the scoreboard looks like 3 decades from now, and that is the part that nobody ever shows you. Okay, here's where I complicate everything I just said, because that is kind of my thing. You might be sitting there thinking, alright, highlight reel, gossip brain, Monster Toolkit, fine. But I still know bad people who seem completely, genuinely okay. Never crashed, never got caught, living great. What about them? Yeah, some of them are fine. I'm not going to lie to you. The universe is not a karma vending machine, and some people genuinely do get away with things. But here's the thing you cannot see from the outside, what it actually feels like to be them. Research on high-trait narcissistic and Machiavellian personalities consistently shows elevated anxiety, chronically shallow relationships, an inability to trust anyone, and a constant low-level paranoia that someone is about to call their bluff. Fitzgerald is not relaxed. He is running a spreadsheet in his head at all times. Every relationship is a resource. Every interaction is a calculated move. That is not winning. That is a different kind of prison with better furniture. Because here's the thing about watching someone else play a game at the cost of everyone around them. At some point, there is nobody left in their corner, and that moment always comes. You just might not be watching when it does. And this is what I actually want to say from the beginning, because it changes the whole question. The real answer to why good things happen to bad people is that we built the question incorrectly. We defined winning as visible, external, short-term results, career, money, status, announcement emails. By that definition, the Monster Toolkit has a measurable edge. But nobody asks about the quality of their sleep, whether anyone actually genuinely likes them, whether they have a single relationship that is not strategic, what they think about at 3 in the morning when there is no audience and no performance to run. Claudette, remember her, still waiting on that promotion, actually has those things. And because those things do not come with a company-wide announcement email, we forget to count them entirely. The universe is not broken. Your scoreboard was just too small. So yeah, not too complicated. Fitzgerald is not winning as much as you think, not getting away with as much as you think, and is quietly paying a price you cannot see on the outside. And all of that, the highlight reel, the gossip brain, the Monster Toolkit, and Fitzgerald's absolutely terrible sleep hygiene, is going to cost you 1 subscribe, because what in the hell is this?